Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of it.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. DeForest Buckner in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And this is going to be back-to-back tackles for a loss here, as the Falcons defense yet again drops him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Throwing now is Wentz. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is indeed good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it down from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
On play action, now Brady. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On play action, it's Brady. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. Here's Tyler Newsome now. Back deep for the Colts, Nyheim Hines. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Wentz going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Five yards remain on 2nd down. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
Well, I've heard you say that so much of being a great inside linebacker is diagnosis, and that time he diagnosed things instantly, made a beeline for the football.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Wentz now to throw.
They'll check this one down to Taylor.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that'll make it 6 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar now. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football, and the Colts pick it up.
And they're going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now stands at 13. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. They'll try the left side. Posey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Nothing is the score after 1 on EA Sports.
A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Darius Leonard, the linebacker.
And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Let's go. Big chance right here. You got to step it up.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And pretty good running as he'll be close to a 1st down at the Falcons' 29. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the
the 22.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. On first down, it's Taylor. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the handoff, Taylor. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Beautiful throw right there on 3rd down, and it looked like this was going to be 6 points, but a nice touchdown-saving tackle at the end of this. Even still, this offense is knocking on the door now with a 1st and goal at the 1.
Taylor. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play.
And that's a major league loss of yardage and probably loss of momentum. You're snapping the ball at the 1-yard line before you suffer that big loss.
Yeah, you think of losing any yardage from the 1 is bad. To go that far back, that's a disaster.
And I think the play calling sequence that maybe the OC had in his head, that's got to change on the fly now.
Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Taylor. And he'll get this awfully close to a 1st down. Boy, that's going to be a razor-thin measurement, but I don't think he got there. He couldn't quite find the goal line, but a good run of 8 yards is going to make it an interesting 4th and goal now. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is good. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Now a play fake, Brady. And this one incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
The
Falcons on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Brady. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Quiddy Pay able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Here's Tyler Newsome now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now Wentz. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Again, it's Wentz. Got a man complete. It's Taylor. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion. And now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Taylor.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
They'll look to run with Taylor. And Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And this one is right through. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Second half
ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wentz. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Colts pick it up. And the return will stop right around the 25.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
3rd and goal at the 4-yard line. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that one ups the lead to 22-0. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he stopped immediately there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing now is Brady. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Brady going to go on fourth down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. They'll run on first down. It's Taylor, eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The extra point up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down. It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
On 2nd and 12, Brady. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
On third down, this is Melvin Gordon. And he is going to lose yardage here. Brady not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it here on fourth. Brady to throw for it on fourth down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. To the right side, this is Taylor.
They'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Second and 4. They run once more with Taylor.
Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, Wentz.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field. That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out there.
Exactly.
Right? But the 9 picks
9
you want.
picks, you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season.